Om Shanti. Good evening. Welcome everyone to another episode of Friday with Friends. Today's friend is a new friend, perhaps an old friend as well. David Howard out of Washington, D.C. Hello, David.
Hello, Greg. Nice to see you. Nice
It's a pleasure to see you. Sister Wadi highly recommended. It was her idea that you were someone to interview. So there must be something of interest in you that she had gave me a personal call to let me know that you're the person.
I've certainly known Sister Wadi for many years.
Yes, yeah, me as well. So the title that came was Secrets of Teamwork. And that's kind of a big one in today's world where everything is teams do this and teams do that, and there's no I and TEAM, all this sort of thing. And from what I understand, that this is part of your daily activity.
Well, certainly, I work with a big team. I work for now almost 22 years now. I work for the DC government. I work for the deputy mayor here in Washington. And we have a team of about 90 people, yeah. And
90?
90 people, yeah.
Wow.
In my office.
Wow, that is quite a team. And the logistics of that are, you don't even need to explain. So first question, when you hear the sentence, the secrets of teamwork, what filters through your mind?
I was thinking of this when you gave me the topic, and it's very clear to me that it's one word. And it might be a surprising word for when you think of teamwork, but when
I'm hanging on.
when you think of it deeply, it isn't. And that's the word love. When we think from a place of love, teamwork is natural. And cooperation is natural. Regard is natural. Respect is natural. Appreciation is natural. And so that's the word that comes to me when I think of teamwork.
You went right to the point because, I didn't know how the conversation was going to go. And I was going to go through cooperation and respect to get to love. But exactly, that's what I feel as well. And so what love is, it's a big word.
Yeah, it is.
But it's the love that's appropriate to the connection. So you have, 90 hands that you're combining. And the type of love that is spread is a different one, that it's not the love of a family or the love of a partner. It's tell me what type of love it is. How does it manifest in a team?
I think that real love is the same wherever it manifests. Real love within a family, within a working group, within someone that you just met who's sitting next to you on the train, it's the same. And we use that word love to mean many different things. We say, I love my car, yeah. Or I love ice cream. Usually when we say I love my car or I love ice cream, we're not really talking about love. What we're talking about is attachment. Because that when we say I love my car, we're thinking that when I'm in my car, I feel happy, I feel content. But what happens if somebody comes along with the key and scratches the car? Or what happens if the car doesn't start? Or what happens if you run into the back of somebody's car? That love goes out the window because it's not really love, it's attachment. Love is something else. And I think love comes back to, love is a way of thinking. It's a way of grounding the foundation of your thoughts. And love is respect. Love is regard. Love is appreciation. Love is cooperation. Love is understanding. Love is compassion. It's a benevolent way of interacting with the world around you. It's a benevolent vision with the world around you. And if you can have that in the foundation of your thinking, if you have that benevolent vision as your perspective, whether it be with a family, or whether it be with a working group, or whether it be with someone you just met, this all those elements of love will flow naturally. Now, the wonderful thing that I remind myself is that when I'm thinking with that benevolent vision, when I'm thinking from that place of love, I'm powerful and I'm content. If we ask each other, what do we want? I was to ask the man on the street what he wants most in life, what do you think they would say, Brother Craig? What do you think what is your deepest desire? What do you think they would say to you? Not what you would say, but what do you think?
Yes. He'd want maybe peace of mind.
Yeah. I think peace of mind, happiness be the most common answers. Someone who is a deeper thinker might come up with something else. Someone might say, think about something material, that's what they want. They want a good relationship, or they want to have a secure and rewarding career, which is fine. They may say that they want to have, they want to be financially secure. And if you distill those things down, though, you usually get to those first two answers we said, peace of mind or happiness. They want this secure job because then they'll have peace of mind. They'll want, they'll want the rewarding career. They think they'll be happy with that. But I think there's a deeper level than peace of mind and happiness. I think there's something that's the foundation of both of those. And that's love. I think at the deepest level, what we all are looking for is that experience of unconditional love. And that's love in the truest sense of what we just mentioned.
Yes.
The deep secret is that we can have it when we are an embodiment of that ourselves. We can have that experience in any second. And if we truly understand this and keep that in our awareness, it empowers us to keep that benevolent vision, because we know when we're seeing the world with love, when we're interacting with the world with love, who are we serving first?
Ourselves.
Ourselves, exactly. We're fulfilling our deepest desire. So bringing this back to teamwork.
Yes, that's what I want to see how you bring it back to teamwork.
Bringing that back to teamwork, when we have that awareness that I can fulfill my deepest desire by interacting with the team, with love, and with all the manifestations of love, cooperation, respect, regard, appreciation, understanding, compassion. When I interact with a team with those qualities, I'm in an embodiment of love. And who am I serving first? Serving myself. I'm fulfilling my deepest desire. So I try to keep that in my awareness. Is it easy?
Well, it's really, the wisdom of knowing what personification of love is appropriate to any given moment. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that's not so much of a memorization of rules and regulations, which of course, what happens in a team is that certain things you have do's and do nots, and we stick to those rules, but it's really about harmonizing. We want to harmonize with one another to meet an overall agreed upon objective. The objective is out there, and I've got to harmonize with others to do that. And what you said first really struck me, is that I have to start with myself first. I'm the first part of that. So when you're working, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, one thing I would say is that you mentioned the word appropriate. And I think when we go down to the truth of love, the true manifestations of love are always appropriate. Cooperation, always appropriate. Compassion is always appropriate. Respect and regard are always appropriate.
Yes.
Yeah. And so this, to me, that's the foundation of team and working in a team. If we treat everybody with respect.
I guess these are things that you don't need anyone else's behavior in order to enact.
You don't.
Right. They're just, because these are still on the level of yourself, and just it's your choice of the way that you're living, and you're not discriminating whom you give it to.
Exactly. Yes. And if you're discriminating, if you're making a choice of who's worthy of cooperation or respect or regard or compassion or understanding or appreciation or patience, then it's not really love.
No.
Because if we make it conditional, it's not love, it's attachment.
Well, what happens is I start out with those intentions, but then if I'm not appreciated for my regard, then my feelings are hurt.
Exactly. And this is why, I was starting to say that it's not easy. It's not easy. We're having a big team meeting. We have an all hands meeting. We haven't had that in quite a while because of COVID. We're having that in my office tomorrow. And there are many individual agendas for this meeting. And interacting with the team, you may often feel unappreciated or not respected. But we have to have the attention to not be affected by that and not let that diminish the cooperation and respect and regard and appreciation that I allow to flow from me. And that's how you have real success in it.
I think you're leading us into the answer, is that I can't expect to get my regard from the team. Because that could be conditional,
Yeah.
My love cannot come from my being appreciated. So how, why, whatever words you want to use, do you get your source of support for the power? How do you find the power to support this desire to express love?
And I don't always find it. I'll tell you that, first of all.
Well, there's one of them right there, is honesty, is real, and humility. That's big on my teamwork thing, is when I see that, then already any type of thought I had is down, because I see that this person is sincere. So you just gave me two right there.
Yeah.
Back to how do you get your power?
I think the support comes from, to me, this is the real value of meditation. Because in meditation, when we allow our mind to be still, we allow our thoughts to slow down, we can be aware of what's there in the background. And to me, the real power of meditation is it gives us the space to pay attention to our awareness. It gives us space to understand who we really are and what is really true about each one of us. And with that space, I have room to make a choice about how I respond to the world around me. And if I take time to refresh that awareness each day, maybe several times a day, I'm creating that space where I can begin to pay attention. I can concentrate my awareness in the foundation of who I really am. You know, each one of us is this beautiful, eternal, loving being. This is the truth of each of us. And with that time in silence, in quiet observation, I can be aware of that truth. And I also can be aware of the ultimate source of that truth with me. You know, what is God if God is not the unlimited source of love? If God is not the source of everything beautiful within us, what is God if God is not that? And with that quiet meditation, I can be connected with that source. And to me, that is what really gives me that strength. When I'm able to pay attention, when I'm able to keep the awareness that the most beautiful qualities in me are grounded in that love, then I do have the power to not be affected when I'm not appreciated, or not be affected when I don't get the patience or the regard that I think I should have. And instead of reacting to that, I can respond with more love. Because I know when I'm responding with that love, I'm actually serving myself, because I'm the first one to experience. The power to experience love is entirely within ourselves. It's not dependent on someone else.
And that's my power.
Yes.
You led us into the meditation just beautifully. One other thing I'd like to bring up that came to my mind is you're talking about, you can have a big team meeting in your office, which would tell me that you have a position of some authority. And so how do you, sometimes in the team, behaviors have to be adjusted. How do you maintain love while adjusting behavior that's not benevolent for the team as a whole?
I'll first of all say that my role has evolved so that I'm not so much of in a leadership role in my office anymore. And it's wonderful, because I used to be in that position when I used to be more of a political role. And that's evolved now so that my role has become more supportive, which is wonderful for me.
Oh, so much better.
Yeah,
for you. So much better for you.
My job is to be loving to my colleagues. This is my love. But still,
you're in a position where people are you have some sort of in-between position that's important, that sometimes that you're able to recognize with love that the objectives or the cohesiveness is not what it could be. How do you address these things?
And I'll share an example, because I think it's a really good question. Because, being loving and doesn't mean that we are complacent. It doesn't mean that we allow anyone to walk over us. It doesn't mean that we allow anyone to show the negative side of them. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that we support someone to show the negative side of them.
Yes.
So I'll give you the example that I think goes right to your point. That let's say you're a manager in an office and you have an employee that's coming to work late, right? And you need to address that situation. Now you could address that situation by yelling at them, and they probably would start, maybe come to work on time more frequently if you yell at them. But you may also find that they only do that when they know that you're going to be there to see them come to work on time. And you also may find that the relationship begins to change with you and that employee, that you may not see the cooperation. You may see that the employee comes to work on time, but they're just doing what they have to do. But there's another way. You can say, John, I've noticed that you're coming to work home, that you've been coming to work late. And I think it's important that you know that you have that when you come to work late, it puts a burden on the rest of the team. And so it's important we have you come to work late. And is there anything we can do to support you coming to work on time? So I think that's always an important thing to ask. If you see some behavior that's not what is appropriate for the office or for the team, then you should ask about that. You should ask, is there something we can do to help you?
Oh, that's very good. Very good.
And,
that is love right there.
Yeah.
Because you're not chastising or loving, you're actually addressing and seeing what else you can do. And then it puts the ball in the other person's court that they have to respond now. They can't react because, well, he yelled at me, so now I'm just going to show up, but I'm not going to cooperate any more than I have to. You're recognizing that person's worth and ability by acknowledging and by saying what it is. It seems, what it seems like to me? It seems like very good parenting.
Yeah. Parenting, a family is a team in a way.
Yes.
Yeah, they are.
There's no difference whatsoever. Well, brother, this is excellent, beautiful. I've learned something myself. So if you kind of coalesce the essence of it all and give us a few minutes of a meditation commentary, and we'll close with that.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So let's take a deep breath and allow our attention to focus inward. And for the next few minutes, let me just observe my breath. Observe each breath coming in and exiting from my mouth. Each breath in, I'm feeling refreshed. Each breath out, I'm letting go of them. Just observing my breath. Thoughts might come, and just like I observe my breath, I can observe those thoughts. And I can accept that those thoughts are there. But from that place of acceptance, I turn my attention back to my breath. And as I observe my thoughts, I may become aware of a stillness that's there in the background. Not a stillness I need to create, but a stillness that's always there, just waiting for me to stop. And from that place of stillness, I have the space to observe myself, to know the truth of it. From that place of stillness, I understand that the truth of me is peace. Peace is my natural nature. And in the awareness of that peace, I understand my connection to an unlimited source of love. An abundance of love that's always available, always there for me to draw from. I allow that love to flow and through, out into the world around. As that love flows, I feel my content and my power rise. I allow that love to flow out into the room around me, touching any soul, and beyond, out into my city and to the world around me. And as that love flows, I go back to the source of that love. And through that source, I understand my connection to every other soul. Where it is that love, that unlimited source of love, connects us all.
Om Shanti to that. Thank you, David. I really appreciate it. And it's beneficial. I'm glad to meet you. I'm very happy, and I'm sure we'll be connecting more and more as time goes on. Thank you again.
Thank you.